You know, American cars genuinely suck, right? We think about this and we go, Fords, Chevys, I mean, they make some pretty bad cars. Let's face it, if you've ever owned a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or anything else, you typically look at that and go, American cars, kind of trash. But you know what's really funny? I just realized this the other day. I actually own 4 American supercars, and yet I don't think I own 4 of anything else except Lamborghinis. So does that mean that I love American cars? All right guys, welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are talking about American muscle. You may have noticed on the channel that I've been buying a lot of American cars, and the other day I was actually having a discussion with one of my close dealer friends, and we were talking about why I actually like these cars. And I thought to myself, I said, it's probably just because they're really fast, and then I realized it has more to do with value than anything else. I mean, do you know that a Ford GT when it first came out was $120K, and what a bargain that is for what you got? What about the new Ford GT, $600K? What a bargain compared to what you got. Both of those cars are trading at almost 3 times its value, the other one at 2 times its value. Now, what about the Cobra R, the most expensive Mustang ever made by 4 times the price of a regular Cobra back in 2000, yet today still has held its value and doubled in value past that. That's insane. Backdraft Cobras can be driven literally for like 2,000 to 5,000 miles without losing a dollar, and in some cases making some. So why is that? Even the Viper ACR is trading at 2 times MSRP. So, you know, one of the things I've realized is that American cars are such incredible value for the money that over time, as money becomes worth less, they become worth more, which is why I've decided to bring back my 1,000 horsepower Ford GT. That's right. You may have seen on the channel that I had this exact car and it went away for a little bit because it ended up going to California to one of my good and close friends and business partners. I've always wanted to have this car back because actually, believe it or not, this is the most drivable Ford GT I have ever driven, even though it has 1,000 horsepower, which is really interesting because you would expect a car with a Whipple that makes 880 horsepower to the wheels and 950 pound of torque to actually drive a little crazy, but it really doesn't. Altered suspension, full Whipple, full exhaust, all interior redone, HRE wheels, and it gives you one hell of a driving experience that actually sounds incredible at low speeds, is insanely fast at high speeds and scary, and yet looks way better than a stock car. I mean, just look at the wheel setup. One of the reasons why I just could not give up this car. So it is finally back. I'm excited to have it back on the channel because it is now sitting next to its newest family member that last time did not get to meet one another. So now they are finally back together. And I think it is just such a superb combination that I cannot let it go. You know, I feel like this time it left to a good friend, so it came back knowing it was in the same condition. You drove it a little bit, and like I said, you know, one thing you'll realize when you're Asian is that, you know, it's very hard for you to drive a lot of power on the road, and this kind of happens. But in this particular case, like I said, this is and has been one of my favorite cars for a long time. Now, I have actually argued that the new Ford GT is one of the best new supercars ever made, and that this was one of the best supercars made back in the day, which is pretty incredible to say this because these are very drivable cars. Now, we can't say this about the Viper ACR from a driving standpoint. We can say in design, it is absolutely stunning. So my argument here, once again, is if you've been thinking about buying a Ford GT, values have started getting very exciting and very attractive, and I highly recommend paying attention to them right now because you can still buy them right under 400K, and they will absolutely be worth a fortune down the road. And you know one way we know they will? Because as I teach you in Exotic Car Hacks, and by the way, if you don't know what that is the ultimate strategy in learning how to buy, sell, and trade exotics, not flipping them, but enjoying them, owning them, and then being in a position to basically get rid of them without losing any money, in many cases making some money. So if you don't know how to do that, click the link in the description and join us, the greatest 20,000 people plus community on the internet of exotic car owners. Great networking tool, as well as an incredible place to learn how to do just that, so you too can go, just like I was, from a normal 9-to-5 job driving a Porsche to being in a car collection this insane a decade or so later. So this is the power of Exotic Car Hacks, and you should learn that. But what I was saying is, you know, from a dollar standpoint, these are gonna make a lot of sense. So if you have a chance to pick one up, the right car under 400, around 400, buy it, put it away. This has 13,000 miles, so it's a driven example of one, and more importantly, it's a modified one, so it's probably not going to be as collectible. But as you guys know, I like driving my cars and enjoying them. But a lot of Fords like these have done very, very well in the long term, very well. I mean, this, the new Ford GT, even my Cobra R here, value-wise have done tremendously better than a lot of other cars. So I would definitely recommend both of these beasts, but if you haven't had a chance to, definitely go out there and drive one of these and you'll be completely hooked. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will catch you next time on Exotic Car Hacks. My name is Pejman Gadimi, and I teach people how to drive exotics for free. Let's look here at how this Huracan can cost as little as $300 a month.